Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. Let's see if we can get a half a dozen games in, but with a small field like this. With a small field like this, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see if we can get a few more things fired up. This makes it easy. Got an ICC, got a tweet out at least. Good morning, Intuitive Night. How are you? Your rating has fallen. What's up with that? Whoa. Let's give a chance here. I'm playing against Dingler N. Intuitive Night. Good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today is the day I beat the NM. I had to restart. Alright, fine. I had to restart my machine because Streamlabs was acting funny. Unfortunately. And now, for something unusual, maybe, maybe not. Let's see what happens now. Oh no. 2 pieces for a rook? Two pieces for a rook. Very sad. Maybe we'll get something out of this deal. Maybe we won't. Oh, really? Did I set myself up on that one, yeah? Check, 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 check. Ah, bollocks. And now for something completely indifferent. I'm definitely doing my Gukesh routine here, being down a piece. I've been told that I shouldn't resign against Intuitive Knight because he has not yet shown the lower side of his game. We'll look at it again right after this. I can handle losing just as well as anybody. Can I? Well, I'm not going to win this game, but we did survive it. being down a piece, we did survive it. Maybe the other young fellow was right when he was analyzing my game. Maybe I should stick it out. So apparently the previous time I played Intuitive Knight, I resigned prematurely, even though I was despondent at the moment. That was this one, apparently, which was a Nightorf. So apparently I could have survived this. And it was only minus 0.9, as it turns out. So I'm trying to think. I don't even remember what color I was. Let's flip the board. I was white. So if I took, and he took, and I just blocked like this, apparently I could have survived. It was a little bit challenging, but I was a little bothered by the fact that I really didn't play that well. So Intuitive Knight definitely had the better of me. A much better player, although I don't think more than 100 points, idealistically, more than 100 to 150 points should separate these ratings. He's only played 9 rapid games, but I think only about 100 to 150 points should separate these ratings. Greg the G. Yeah, I was up early enough. Oh, I'm here every day, Intuitive Knight. I'm here every day. So apparently the sub TTS works, and the sub TTS on YouTube works. If you wish to chat using, that's awesome. Good luck, sir. I would certainly be preparing using calculation methods. Calculation, assessment, and calculation. 4 parts calculation to 1 part assessment at the moment. Once the calculation becomes very, very clear, what am I playing as white? Let us continue with the birds opening. Because Faubourg's name begins with F, how about that? Thank you, Becky. Normally I mute the microphone. This is a very common strategic error. Normally I mute the microphone for the celebratory blowing of the horn. How are you, Becky? Good morning. Be certain to check out Anon's greatest games. Let's see if we can just grab the long diagonal since my opponent wasted so much time on the queen side. Whoops. No, I can't let that happen. Now I'm torn. How am I going to develop my queenside knight? It looks like we're going to have to play d3 sooner or later. What in the world, sir? Sometimes I forget. I forget who I am dealing with. You know? I do. Sometimes I forget who I'm dealing with. I should have taken this on the previous turn. He is not finishing the opening anytime soon. Oh no. Do I want to continue this way? Doesn't seem like I have a choice. We still have access to the center. The knight is far away from g4. The king is far from castling. All of these factors and more. What in the world, sir? I don't even know where to begin, but we'll get a little closer. We'll get a little bit closer now. My opponent is playing in isolation. A little bit of isolation. We do need to threaten checkmate. And we might need to give him a little bit of a checkup. Do we want to give him a checkup? Yeah, we do need to give him a bit of a checkup. Yeah, it's going to be a little ugly. But it doesn't hurt to be a member of both the weekend and the morning dojo to get the announcements. I hope you get the announcements, Becky. Becky Doobie. I've known a few Beckys who were chess players in my time. I'm trying to recall the one who's probably about Linda Diaz's age now. I think we've lost touch with each other on social media. She was a very smart young lady. Went to one of those premier schools. Greg the G. All right, Greg. You happen to get the G. You happen to get the G opening. And now for something completely indifferent. Very strange. We're going for it. That was a wise decision. Namaste, Ryan Chess for Life. How are you? Where are you headed, sir? I don't know, but I think it's time to start branching out just a little bit.
Thanks for following.
And now for something completely indifferent. As much as I would love, love, let's go for this one. How about that? This is a very bizarre position that we've got here, folks. That's a good move. Interesting. This 3+2 is very misleading. But it's going to have to do. In between move. Just a little bit of an in-between move. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Can I do it that way? Oh, you're going to play that move on me, are you? Well, that is a bummer. Knight e4 is not covered. That's a bummer. Oh, but it is covered the other way. Silly me. We're covered the other way. Oh no, we're not covered the other way. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer. Couldn't mate with a pawn, unfortunately. I was trying to under-promote to a bishop for the Rosen score. In case you don't have your Rosen score, you may check it here. I am at 420. Let's see, noob player me 1. Since he is a me, I guess I'll go with E. Didn't we already play this way? Kukesh. So I have to give back the bishop pair already? This is terrible. Absolutely terrible and tragic. Well. Is he going for it? Well, I was going to do that anyway. However. Mm-hmm. Doesn't look like this one is going to count for the record, so it really doesn't matter what happens here. But I would like to make some form of amends. I would like to accomplish some form of whoa. Yeah, you get to move anywhere you please. One time only. One time only offer. Okay, I'm still curious. Oh, are you going to do that to me? Can I do it that way? Hold on. I have 2 minutes to invest here. We have 2 minutes to invest. Am I gonna really survive this? I don't think so. Whoa. What in the world? Yeah. As much as I don't like weakening, my pawn structure, am I still here? That's terrible. Where are you going, sir? Oh no, I lost on time. I made his day. Did I make his day? Hold the phone here. No, I didn't make his day. Noob player me. He's not a bad player at all. Nicely done, sir. That was our first game together. Nice work. Yeah, I had to play. I play. For whatever reason, I took the bishop when I should have taken the pawn on g3, then taken the bishop. How silly was that, right? That was a huge blunder. I mean, I was pretty much willing to take a draw. If I'd have known that it was our first game together, I probably would have taken the draw. So what happens after this? Queen takes a4, bishop takes. Doesn't work anymore because a bishop takes c5, right? But, and then I didn't take on g3 with check. And this would have been much easier to play. I was still kicking myself. I was still kicking myself for not taking on g3 when I lost on time. Basically, I was like, grrr. I mean, I'm winning, but that was an inaccuracy. So anyway, Becky, I am FIDE trainer and National Master. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for following. Or thank you so much for being here. Ryan Chess for Life. Let's do the about. I think the about is better. So born in Denver, yada, yada, yada. Namaste, everyone. Greg in second place. Nice job. The time should be +0, but we're not here to win, Greg. We're not here to win. This is a very contradictory thing, by the way. Oh my gosh, it's so bright in here. Alexa, turn on Dojo. Alexa, what's going on here? Uh-oh. Alexa, turn on Dojo. Why is my Dojo unplugged? My Alexa is unplugged. I see. I was cleaning yesterday. Cleaned the whole room. Put up the Ding versus Kukesh poster in the corner. I need a light in that little general area, obviously, which I will get. But Greg the G, we're here to try to improve our play. We need a smidgen of time to have some semblance of in any event. Do I know you from the chess world, Becky? Becky with a W? Or is it Becky Wong? Strange. I'm just trying to pull all the Beckys from my past. In any event, please make sure to join the social medias. Basically, especially the Discord, which we are going to be doing. We need to make sure that people are connected. I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. We're going to have some rewards and some competition. Definitely join the Discord. I'm just taking a quick peek now at what's there. At what's there. $20.25. Let's see here. What can we accomplish for today? Puzzles. Let's do a few. Looks like that wins the queen. Is there more, though? Usually I get screwed when there is more to play for. In these positions, takes. I have a hard time playing for just one thing, right? It's like, what is your objective? What is your real objective besides checkmate in one, right? Everybody wants a checkmate in one. Not everybody gets it. Simple math problem in the early stages of Puzzle Streak. Looks like we're capturing 2 in a row. And all we have to do is not get mated.
Paul SC
said, HS Master, I have heard different recommendations when being attacked. Is it better for below 1,600 rated players to retreat or to look for counter attacks?
That almost caused me to cough up a lump. Can we remove a defender here? I think we're removing the defender of this. No, the the number one preference, or I should say the top 5 preferential concepts for stronger players. If you wish to be a stronger player, you must 1. Counterattack, 2. Counterattack, and 3. Counterattack. If you wish to be a stronger player, counterattack. You should always be looking for Zwischenhooks, in-between moves, all types of moves that will assert yourself as the stronger player. It is a lot like a poker game. If you wish to stay a lower rated player, by all means, you should never counterattack. Just play. I refer to retreating moves, but they are necessary. Unfortunately, when you're in dire straits, retreating moves may be the only move. But in general, if you have a preference, you must counterattack. So what's going on here? Knight takes e3.
Paul SC
said, yesterday I heard an NM suggest the opposite and I was very confused by his advice.
Well, let's just go with when I first started playing pool, I started playing 9-ball. And I started to get advice from everyone under the sun. And there were a few authorities in the room, such as professional pool player Ginky George Sansucci, one of the best players in the world. And I mentioned to him that I was getting confusing advice. And he said to me, the next time Paul offers you advice on trying to improve your game, because Paul wasn't that strong of a player, and by not that strong of a player, I'm saying he wasn't anywhere close to being one of the best in the world. Ginky, who was one of the best in the world, told me, ask him for his BCA coach certification card. And I did. I said, you do have a BCA coach certification card. The Billiards Congress of America awards coaching certification and things like that. I am a FIDE trainer. I have been teaching and coaching, and I have made mistakes teaching and coaching over the years. You will become a stronger player by seeking to play stronger moves. My other piece of advice is never automatically play the first move that you see, because the first move that you see is the move of your rating, rank, or level. That's the first move that you see. If you look for a better move and you find one, look for an even better one. Just constantly get yourself into that mode that Lasker represented. You need to continually improve your game by becoming and evolving into a better and better player. The only way you can do that is by looking for better moves. And the better moves are the more assertive ones. Now, it may have been a given position that he was talking about. Thank you, by the way, for being here on YouTube. I definitely noticed that when you are on YouTube and you get the text-to-speech as a subscriber or not, just want to give everybody a chance to notice that there are the great games, my memorable games. I have to admit, I played some crazy chess, but I did not play crazy chess by being positional and retreating. So here, what in the world is going on here? I'm trying to determine the difference. I think I need this knight to be there. So this is the knight that must capture, because this knight needs to control the dark squares so that the light squares are the only ones available to our opponent. So for example, here we have the move. While this does nothing by itself. He has not enough attackers and defenders. Just piecing together the checkmating idea before I play it. There's no reason to rush. It's also the reason why I really detest players playing, and this is a beautiful removing the defender. Absolutely lovely removing the defender.
Said, I think the NM was talking about even lower rated players in the 1000s, but since I am trying to look for counterattacks all the time, I gained maybe 200, 300 ELO. Thanks for the advice, I'll keep it up.
Yeah, although I don't recommend that you ask for their FIDE training certification, as when I became a FIDE trainer, I did feel for everyone who did not have the opportunity to go out of their way. FIDE training came to me in 2016 as a part of the World Championship. But Ninja Kids got to 1600 plus. Good job, sir. But in general, advice should always be questioned. Even my advice should be questioned. Like, retreating moves are brilliant, according to Maurice Ashley. He loves retreating moves that can be strong. So he wheeled out in Becky, I always wake up. Yes, I do always wake up so early. Nothing to see here. So let's see. Takes, captures, and we have a bishop, knight, and rook against a bishop and a knight. The only things that he has left are this bishop and this knight, albeit on this square. So therefore, this looks like a pretty normal move. I don't seem to need to capture here. If I capture, they capture, I capture, they capture. Nothing to see here, folks. So we're going to go. And at the end of that alignment, we were talking about assessment. We were talking to Intuitive Knight earlier. Intuitive Knight preparing for the Lebanese Championship. Basically, calculation skills, working on your calculation skills. That's why I love Puzzle Streak more than Puzzle Survivor, by far. Primarily because you have a chance to just sit, work on, and perfect the process. So, for example, where are the weaknesses? Where is the worst placed piece? This is definitely a worst placed piece. This queen is only guarded by that rook. So therefore, if we were to give a check and then exchange queens, we would be able to take the rook in the rear.
Black rook.
Deflect rook, yes. Daflack. Like the goose, Daflack.
Oli.
Said. Big John.
Like even in here, Ollie, good morning, sir. We've got Kingslayer Sloan in the house. I went to sleep with Anakin last night. I put him to bed. He is such a cuddler, my grandson. Oh, I fell asleep, and I did not wake up until 3 o'clock this morning when I could relocate myself after I had put him to bed.
Oli.
Said. Good morning, sir.
Oli. Mr. World of Tanks. How are you?
Oli.
Said. It's early for you, right?
It's normal. 6:19. This is the normal time I might wake up on the weekends. So let's see. Queen to h5. Queen to h7 is mate. So let's get the king to go to the file so that when we arrive here, it's check and mate.
Oli.
Said. Master Chess Dojo THX for the shout out.
No worries. So capture, knight check, knight takes. Let's do a little bit of an assessment here. Just because I see this move doesn't mean it's the best move. So we have 2 knights remaining after I take the bishop. And he has a rook. I have a rook and 3 minor pieces. So it looks as though this is the right continuation. Now we just have to recheck everything to make sure that there's not a better continuation. And it looks like we have an even further simplification here after the rook attacks our knight. Or we capture the rook. Silly enough, right? So if we throw in the in-between move of attacking this pawn, he's attacking our rook. But if we attack his pawn, like what else could there be? We have queen takes g6 and the rook cannot block because the rook on e8 is poorly placed. So it looks like we just throw in the in-between move and we strip our opponent's king of any and or all defenders. So one might wonder that king to h8 queen takes h6, rook to h7, queen to f6 check, rook to g7. At some point we are going to have to move this rook. Or counterattack, for example. So while this rook might be captured in the far future, while this bishop could be captured by one of 2 rooks. So what would be the normal continuation here? I would love to be able to play this check and then take the rook. So if king h8, queen f6, rook g7 is forced. It doesn't really seem to matter, but we can maybe hornswoggle with queen takes h6, king to g8, rook takes g7, queen takes g7, queen takes g7, king takes g7, and then simply counterattacking with this rook. There's only 1 rook left. So do we want to trade this rook off at all? So if king h8, queen h6, or king h8, just rook to h3 and he still cannot take, right? That's probably the simplest. If king h8, rook h3, and nothing can defend this pawn. Take a look. King h8, rook h3. We eventually got to the proper calculation based on what was going on. And they have bishop c3 guarding that rook against capture so that this rook might be able to interfere. And only then rook to b1 in the line of analysis. Do we do 5 more? taking advantage of a pin. Bishop takes. This doesn't really work because we're not attacking him so easily with a bishop. We're attacking him with a rook, and we get another and further attacks in a moment. So, counterattacking. Rook takes, knight takes, knight takes. And then we have an extra rook. But what does this really do? I don't know. Or is it knight takes e5? That looks like a better move because now we are counterattacking. Now the queen can't simply move and keep the pressure on us like knight h4 did. So in this particular position, rook takes, king takes, king f2, king c4, king e3, king d5, king f4, king e6, king takes g4, king f6, king h5, and we win. Oh, but as long as we take first. Now they should make sure that we don't push the pawn. They should go a little bit further. They should show us this. Because people could actually be, this is where you throw away the point. This looks like mate in a couple. Does he have a further check? I see nothing. And we've cut off the escape square. So a rook on f8 would be threatening mate. Just making sure that we don't go for the exchange of rooks. This looks like a very difficult move to stop. Where this is a blunder. You know what I'm craving? I'm craving a maul. This is simply checkmate in 2. Forcing the king into the corner. Removing a defender, as it were. Dafrak. Using the worst placed piece. So let's see here. We get in a little bit of a trick because we have a mating net. This pawn is not promoting. Queen, rook. I feel it should go a little further. Just to make sure that we don't end up in this endgame with equal rooks. Still better for white because of the king position, but still. Then we get an en passant mate. I might save this one, folks. Yeah, I may save that one. Alright, last one for the day. It looks as though we're just going to win by pin. Win with the pin. And thank you, everyone. It is quite crazy that We have no one streaming, right? Kian Chess Coach was 5 hours ago. John Bartholomew and Lafong were hours ago. C'est la vie. Do we have an offer spiel event today? Everyone should be aware of the offer spiel events. I won. If you check the league standings on the last one, I believe that it shows that I won last season pretty handily. I haven't won in a long time. Where is it? Offer spiel. Becky Doobie. Becky Doobie.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said.
Nothing yet.
Yay.
Yeah, indeed. And we are working on a similar league system for the dojo. Nothing yet. But we have mods already programming, so it should be great. It will be great. Needless to say, we are going to visit our only Lee Chess streamer, I think.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said. Have you thought about joining the Bundesliga?
The Bundesliga? I'm not sure how I would go about joining the Bundesliga, honestly.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said.
The truth.
I chess.
ICC.
Sloan.
Oh, yes.
Unlike us.
That is true. But it's not fun. Those leagues are not fun. Those leagues are work. I do chess for a living. Chess, everyone, should be fun. That is my number one rule. Chess should be fun. Do not fall for
Kingslayer
chess by
Sloan.
any other name.
Said. It kinda ain't fun.
Indeed. It kinda ain't fun indeed. Signal fire, indeed. I was actually thinking that it should be a single flare. Signal flare. Only two viewers, eh? I will weigh up whether or not I even want to raid with 2 viewers. In any event, everyone, namaste, Dark
No
Blade.
worries.
Said. We must discuss time about it.
I did step into the Discord to talk